Hi, Michael. You asked for feedback on your store, so I've taken a look over it and I've made some notes, and I'm going to run through those now. So I've got like four main points, four main sections I'm going to focus on, and I'm just going to pull up your site. Here it is, and walk you through these notes. So, first comment I have is that it takes a while to get to the products. So, you have to scroll quite a while to get down to see the actual products that you're selling, and I think that's a problem. That's going to stop people from looking at your products, from seeing your products. If they're going to buy your product, they need to see it. And if they land on your site and they don't see it straight away, I just think you're putting obstacles in their path that's stopping them from buying. So my advice would be move your products way up. I would have them like the first thing you see on the page. Like seriously, after the logo, I would have some product images. Um, I'm not opposed to like slideshows like this, but your slideshow doesn't have any pictures of products in it. It's just pictures of Hawaii, and I get that, but I don't think it's moving anyone towards a sale. Same with this video. Lovely video as it is, and it's really nice to look at and watch. It's not going to make anyone buy your products because there's none of your products in there. It doesn't tell them about the products. There's no, benefits or anything like that. And even this thing about the logo and your meaning, I don't think it's helping people buy. So I would, if you're going to keep it on the page, I would move it underneath your product images so that the products are really the first thing that people see. And I think that's going to help things for you. Point number two. So I've had a look over your designs. I mean, there's nothing, terribly wrong with your designs or anything like that. But what I would say is that it's quite confusing to see what your niche is, and you kind of seem to be straddling a few. So, for example, you have this kind of entrepreneur type deal going on, a few designs around that, and then you have some kind of Hawaii focused designs, and then you have some others that are kind of fitness and that kind of thing. And I think that's kind of those three areas are a bit confusing, and maybe you should just pick one and just go all in on that. So, for example, the entrepreneur thing, the hustler type thing, you could go for that, or you could go for the Hawaii thing and stick with more of a Hawaii focused brand that focuses on, Hawaii stuff. I mean, I don't really know, you know better than me what your kind of brand is about, but I think you'd have a lot more success if you kind of focused on one and niche down. And I would reduce the number of designs you have. I think you've got quite a lot here, which is, can be a good thing. But I think in your case, because you're just starting out, and if you're not getting a lot of sales, what you really want to do is find out a way to get those initial sales. And I think it will be easier if you focus your efforts on selling a few products rather than a big, broad range of products. So that's what I would do. I would kind of pick a niche that you're going for and kind of just go all in on that. Don't try and be, covering too many niches and too many target audiences. Just pick one and go whole hog focused on that. So that's number two, my tip number two. Now I don't know, Michael, I don't know what your situation is. I know you said you're not making sales on this site. I don't know whether you're making sales through print on demand sites and that kind of thing. But one of the things I would do, some advice I think I would give you is, so if you think about print on demand, and I don't know if you've read some of my previous articles, you've probably seen this before, but what I would do is focus on making designs for print on demand sites. So whether that's Merch by Amazon, Redbubble, TeePublic, or others, I would focus on those designs, and then I would think about the kind of designs that you want to sell on your own site. And I would try and find that sweet spot between the two and spend your time here. So what I mean here is that you might have designs that might sell on print on demand sites like Merch by Amazon, but they're not designs that you would then go and sell on your own site. So what you want to do is find designs that will sell on both places and create those. Because when you do that, you'll be able to make sales from print on demand, so you have some income. You'll be able to help see what sells well, and then you'll be able to deploy the same designs on your own site and push those through your social media and that kind of thing. and they'll still be designs that make sense and fit with your brand. So, for example, let's say that you were going to do the Hawaii thing. For example, you were going to just kind of focus on building a brand around Hawaii and the Hawaii culture and that kind of stuff. So I would just like pull up, like I've done it here actually. If you just pull up Amazon and just kind of search Hawaii t-shirt, and I would look at the kind of designs here and have a think about how you can create something that might sell on Amazon, on Merch by Amazon, or other print-on-demand platforms. I don't know if you even have a merch account. So kind of designs that might work, when the design is the thing that's making the sale. So people are searching just for something like Hawaii t-shirt. How can you create a design that's going to appeal to those people, the people who are searching for that? But then how can you link those designs up so that those designs will work on your brand too? And, you can put your logo either on them or, work it in alongside. But the point is that they both kind of, they work for both places. They work on POD and they work on your site. And that way you kind of getting more bang for your buck. So when you create designs, you can make some money from POD sites. You can also make money on your own site instead of just doing one or the other where you're kind of limiting and tying your hands with your options. So this is what I do. Obviously I have my merch accounts, my POD accounts, and I create designs for those, but almost all of the time I'm thinking in the back of my head when I'm creating designs and coming up with ideas, I'm thinking, will this design work on my own site? Does it make sense to my target audience? Will my audience get it? Is it something that just fits with kind of the brand that I'm building? And if it doesn't, I'm less inclined to go for that. I'm looking for designs that hit both spots in the sweet spot. So I hope that makes sense. That's kind of like my advice for how you can make some cash. It's easier to make cash from POD sites than it is from your own site. And that's why I would encourage you to pursue this idea. So the basic kind of plan I would go down is the roadmap, the POD to own site roadmap. So step 1, create designs for print-on-demand platforms, Merch by Amazon, Redbubble, TeePublic. The focus there is designs that it is the design itself that the customer is looking to buy. It's not connected to any brand. It's not connected to a label. It's just the design. So then you've got to think about phrases, funny sayings, that kind of thing that people might be searching for related to your niche, and create those designs for POD sites. Now, if you do that right, it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take some time, but if you do that right, you're going to have some income from those POD sites. So save that income. Don't spend it. Keep it to one side. Let it build up over time, because that cash is what you need to spend on marketing and advertising when you finally, have enough in the bank to actually make a dent. Because it does cost money to do advertising and marketing properly. You don't have to do paid advertising necessarily. You can do things like it's going to cost you money if you want to send a product out to an influencer to get them to wear it on Instagram and display it. So things like that. So you need to have cash for, it could be paid advertising, like I do, the paid Instagram sponsored posts, or it could just be, the kind of expenses that go along with marketing. For example, doing a photo shoot. You're in Hawaii, so you've got some great options for photo shoots and, beach shots and all that kind of stuff. But it's going to cost you money to get a nice camera or to hire a good photographer, that kind of thing. But that's what you need that money for. And then that will lead to profit on your own site, which is obviously the end goal is to make some money from your own site to build up that brand. And that's where you want to head everything towards, focus everything towards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, get designs on PODs first, print-on-demand sites, save that income, and then when you've got enough, you can spend it on advertising and marketing your own brand site. And over time, that should result in profit. Now, I did just have a few final thoughts on your site, just some practical bits from a design, kind of web design kind of point of view, that kind of thing. So let me get into those. So number 1, I notice you're using this logo here, just kind of a simple text logo. I think that's a missed opportunity because you have here like a much nicer logo, and I would just swap those out. I would convert this to white, put it on the. You know what? Actually, while I'm saying that, you're doing a kind of Hawaii theme and that kind of thing. I'm not sure the black works well for that purpose, because I would think Hawaii, I'm thinking sun, sea, sand. I would go for more light colors. I would kind of lose the black, the black top, the header and the footer. Doesn't do a lot for me. I don't think it really fits. I think if you went for more blue, this blue is nice, and a white, maybe a white header. And, I would use this logo instead of the one you're currently using at the top, just because it's a nicer, it fits more, it would give the vibe a bit more. Also, if you are going to do the Hawaii thing and you're going to focus on Hawaii, I would work that into your logo. I would say, appreciate living Hawaii or something like that, or established Hawaii, da 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 da, and just work it in so that you're making that connection straight away. When someone views your site, they're going, "Oh, Hawaii." So you're being really explicit about it, like, this is Hawaii. This brand is about Hawaii. That's what we're about. Just a few other things. I think I said already I would reduce the number of designs. There's nothing wrong with your designs in and of themselves, but I would say, like I said before, just niche them down a bit. Your About Us page is very wordy. I would really just look to reduce this to just a couple of paragraphs. That's really all you need. Because look, when someone lands on your site, they're going to either buy a product, or they're going to walk away and never buy a product, or they're going to think, that's cool, I'm going to come back and buy a product. So they're not, you're either going to get them or you're not. I don't think that your About Us page is going to make someone buy who wasn't going to buy. And really, the people who are going to buy because they like your designs and they want to own them. So I would make sure that your focus is always on driving people to your designs and your sales, and not trying to convince them or tell them about your brand, but just make it about the designs and the products that you're selling. And I think if you do that, if you focus more on, hey, you're here, buy something. So another thing I would do is I would get a pop-up here that says, 10% off or something. I see you're using Shopify, so I would use Privy. I use Privy on my site. It's free, really easy to set up, and just allows you to do a simple pop-up like that. So I would just do a really simple, 10% off or 20% off, whatever you can afford to do. Put your email here, get 20% off your first order. And then it just, you're just working towards a sale all the time. Obviously, when you do that, you're getting an email address, so you can then remarket to those people in the future, which is great. And that's essential if you're going to build a long-term business. But also it focuses the customers on, okay, this is, what is this website about? Okay, it's a brand, it's a clothing brand, and they want me to buy something. Okay, I'll have a look what they've got to offer. They're offering me 20% off. So it just kind of, you keep everything moving towards the sale. So that's what I would do with regards to your website. Make sure you get that pop-up, because you'll be getting subscribers and you'll also be encouraging people to buy at the same time. So, Michael, I hope that's helped you. I hope that this advice is something that you can implement and do. And I think if you just make a few of these changes, I think it's going to move people towards that sale. And hopefully you should start seeing some sales in there. So I hope this has been helpful for you and for others who are watching. Make sure to follow me on michaelessick.com and subscribe so you get my weekly emails. And thank you for watching.